Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like TED Talks. It's like a famous like series of talks. Yeah, these talks aren't very long, just about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, and we encourage you to keep an open mind as you listen to some of these kids, because they're sharing something that's very personal to them from their own experiences, and maybe it'll help you give you a new perspective on life, and it'll give you an insight into what some of these kids are thinking, because I don't know. And they've worked really hard to prepare these speeches for you guys. So yeah, first up we have Ben Nguyen.
Well, you might ask me, why should we? Because problems, well, we want to run away from problems, right? Why should we accept them? They're not our friends. They're the thing that makes life bad. And you might think I'm crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. But other than that, it might be hard to explain in words, so I'll explain an example. I think the most relatable thing we have is school. And let's say we get a bad grade on a test, and the teacher won't let you retake it. And you gotta act, your family's mad at you, you messed up, right? But it's not about that. It's when, after that, you're beating yourself up, you're mad that it was your fault, and you don't forget it. You can't move past it. And as time goes on, all it does is it brings out the worst of you. The anger, the hatred, it stacks up in your heart. And by accepting our problems, not only will it free us from this, but it'll help us actually be able to improve on this problem, right? I understand you can't change the test score, right? But you can study next time, right? Get that A, man. But But if we're not going to accept the problem, if we're going to deny reality and just be mad at ourselves, how are you going to get that A? You're not studying, you're mad at yourself. You can't move past on. You can't, because you're stuck in the past. But not only, so accepting a problem will actually help you really overcome the situation. And I can tell you from my personal experience, I don't know if you guys know, most people do know, but when I was born, I wasn't, let's say I have a hand condition, that my hand wasn't, formed correctly, you would say. And so it's really been a struggle in my life because, when I was growing up as a kid, I didn't think much, obviously, because we're kids, right? We're 1 year old, 2 year old, we don't know a lot. But I think I can remember my first hardship, and I'm pretty sure you guys have it, but my first one was I was at the playground, there's a lot of kids playing, and I wanted to do monkey bars, but I realized I can't because my left hand can't grip. And I was just on the sideline going, good job guys, but maybe deep down inside that I wish I could do that. I wish that I could have fun and join these kids. But it didn't stop there. When you're growing up, you're maturing, right? You have more opportunities. But for me, that also meant I had more limitations. The more things you do, the more things I can't do. As in, it became hard for physical stuff. Maybe holding something, maybe opening something. That became hard for me too. And when I was growing up, sports could be hard too. Like, I couldn't catch a ball, I couldn't do this. And it kept stacking. The list kept going 1, 2, 3, and more, right? And so, not only that, but once I hit middle school or high school, the thing was, I couldn't accept it, right? I really wanted to grow, I don't know, like a normal hand. I wanted to be a normal kid. I wanted just to have 5 fingers, you know? And that's the thing that I kept beating myself up. At that time, I was mad at life. I was mad at myself. I didn't know. I was confused. But I just couldn't accept it. So when I hit middle school and high school, it not only became physical, but it became mental. As in, I kept bringing myself down. Every time I couldn't do something, I said I was a disappointment. I said I was useless. I said that sometimes, like, why do I have this? Out of 7, 8 billion people, it's me. I sometimes think about that when I'm alone. Look up in the ceiling. Just sometimes I think, you know, why are we here just to suffer? And sometimes I don't know. So I was really struggling throughout my life, and yeah, but I think in June, beginning of June, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. So I asked my dad, hey, you know, I want to go to the gym. Let's get a membership. And I did. I got a membership. I was like, you know what? If I get buff, all my problems will be solved. Actually, the end, the story. I'm joking. I went back to square one, because a lot of the exercise in the gym, a lot of the machines, where you really need a full hand to grip the thing. And even though I had something to help me, like I bought something that helped me grip something, but it only helped me so much. It's not a prosthetic, right? And so I went back to square one, feeling disappointed and useless. That it was my fault that I guess somehow the world hated me, and I had to have this hand. And I just couldn't accept it. I was, you know, always looking in the mirror, just telling myself, you know, just look at it as an embarrassment, you know? I just don't know what to do with myself. I couldn't look in the eyes at myself. But I kept going to the gym, and so I was struggling with this machine. If you know, people go to the gym, it's called the lat pull down, right? And I couldn't get the bar, as in I couldn't grip it, and so I asked this guy named Zach, and he works at the gym. You know, he says hi to everyone. And he's a really nice guy, but so he gave me tips on, you know, oh, you should do this and that, and he gave me a wrist strap to help me too. But that wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing was he told me that you should use your imperfection or the flaws in you as your superpower. And on that day, I really thought what he said, that maybe my hand really isn't a curse, because that's how I grew up. I think I was a curse. I was maybe punished, I don't know. I just thought something was wrong with me. But that day when I finally thought what he said, I went home to the gym feeling happy with myself. As in, I'm happy who I am. You know, I have this, but that's fine. I'm content with myself. I'm grateful for all this I have. I'm happy. And you know, I was walking home, the birds singing, you know, sky's blue. Really from that day on, I was like, you know what? Why am I sad? I have so much things that I take for granted. I'm grateful for a lot of things, and I shouldn't be sad. I started becoming grateful for the things I have. I started really looking at the bright side, right? And, you know, I mean, at that time I was like, what is there good about my hand, right? I mean, I can't do anything. But let me tell you something. I don't need to buy a costume to cosplay as a pirate. I have one right here. So, from that day on, I vowed to myself that I would never think of my hand as a curse. That's my superpower. Yeah. That I can say, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud that I have it. And I don't need to be ashamed or embarrassed. I don't need to feel sad. And you know, there's some things I can't do, right? There's a lot of things I can't do, but that's okay. There's no need to be sad. So yeah, like I said, it became a curse to a superpower. And so the point I wanted to bring up about accepting your problems is, right, the first point I would really say is taking a step back, as in acknowledging the situation you're in. And in my situation, I can't grow any fingers, I can't get a new hand, I can't have all this stuff. And that's okay, because it's really important to take this time, because if you can't accept what's in front of you, you'll never be able to move on forward. You can't move on. If you can't even accept what's in front of you, you can't move on. And so I learned that the hard way, where I was like, you know what, I can't do anything about this. And this is also a time to really take care of what you're feeling. I was confused of how I felt, angry at myself, angry at the world. I was so confused. But I never approached it. I never took my time for myself. You know, I only just tried to keep moving along, but it did help, because if you're not going to face your feelings, you're never ever going to move past it. You're always going to be stuck in the past. And so it's really important to take this time, and really for yourself. A lot of people don't do this. So it's really important to do that. And my second point I want to bring up, technical difficulty, okay. Being grateful and seeing the bright side. And what I mean by this is, like I said, I have seen other conditions that are worse than mine. You're right, I do have this hand, but I'm standing up right here. I'm talking to you guys. I'm here with you. And so, there are many conditions that are worse, and there are a lot of things we take for granted. The simple things, like water, shelter. The simple things that we're so used to, we don't even pay attention that other people might not have that. And so, so why should you beat yourself up? Why should you be sad about, yes, you can't, why should you be sad about the problems you can't change? You have all these things, and you're sad about this one thing, right? And so, this also brings me to my next point, is seeing the bright side. In my life, I've never thought anything good about my hand. I always thought it was a curse. Why should I think there's anything good, right? But that's who we are as humans. We usually always look at the bad side of stuff. Like Austin said, we always, you know, maybe people do bad things, and we always remember. We never remember the good things, right? And like I said, you know, I might not be able to do a lot of things physically, but I can cosplay as a pirate, you know? And so, yeah. And I think it's really important for us to do this, because it will really help us move on. Because if you're not really going to take the time to look at the bright side, you only look at the bad side, you can't move on. And it's really important to do this, because there's a lot of things in life that you'll encounter, a lot of problems, and you might not even know exist. And if we keep looking at the bad side, all you're going to do is really cause yourself more pain and suffering, which we all don't want. So this brings me to my conclusion, learning from our problems. And so to clarify, obviously if you have a problem that we can solve, don't procrastinate, just go do it. You know? A lot of people do that. I could say I do that a lot, but just go do it, make a plan, go solve it. But I'm talking about the problem we can't change, we can't fix, or we have no control over, like the test score. Unless you hack the system and change your test score, which I don't think that's so obviously you can change it. But you know what you can do? Change your attitude. Improve on the future. Try to avoid it next time. You don't have to change it. You can learn so that you can improve. And in my situation, obviously I couldn't really grow more fingers, I couldn't do this and that. And so instead, I chose to change my attitude towards my hand. I chose, because it's like a double weapon. It caused my pain and happiness. Because back then, I thought it was a curse. I hated myself. I said, I don't want this. But you know what? Now, I look at it as a superpower. This is my superpower. No one's going to take it away from me. It's who I am. So long I've been beating myself up, as in my past self, and I wish I didn't, you know. And to wrap this all up, if I could go back to the past, my 10-year-old self, my 11-year-old self, my 12-year-old self, my 13-year-old, my 14-year-old, even now, right now, I want to tell myself, it's okay, you're gonna go through this. Even though you have a thumb, it's okay. You can't do anything about it. So accept it. It's not that bad. And I want to say you're perfect the way you are. Love you! For so long, I thought it was my fault, as in the world hates me. I want to talk to myself and say, you're perfect, and I won't change anything about you. And I know you guys have your own problems, school. And obviously parents, you guys pass school, so you probably have work, you probably have other stuff, you know? That's kids. But that's okay. That's okay. Because in life, you're gonna have situations and problems you can't control. And you know what? I'm 15. I probably don't know your problem. So, you know, maybe I'm not going through what you're going through, but I want to tell you guys, whatever you're going through, it's going to be okay. That maybe if you can't fix it, you can't solve it, you can't change it, it's okay. Because acceptance is not a weakness, but it's a power that we can all use to really move on and help us. Ironically, I was talking about the bad stuff in my life, depressed, and I said, look at the bright side, so don't cancel me, guys. But I did forget to tell you one thing. I have a loving family, and if you don't know who my family is, my dad is Bakdam, my mom is Golan.
He had a wonderful daddy. And a wonderful mommy too.
So, obviously, I didn't know how to say, but I guess we often don't say thank you a lot. As in, I just woke up one day and said, hey mom, I appreciate what you did. I think my parents would look at me and say, you're not my son. Really, they helped me a lot. As in, my dad, he gave the most motivational speech.
Yeah! Moment! Got it.
So, my mom, she helped me a lot, and the thing that moved me the most was, I think I remember, I was cutting vegetables, right? As in, I couldn't really hold it, so it kind of slipped. And you know what my mom would do? She would put herself in my shoes. She would just use her thumb and find out a way. And if she found out a way, she'd show me. And you know, Annie, even though she's not my parent, but the thing was, every time I had a rough day, she's just there to listen. And that's all I needed from her. For there, I can talk, and she just listened to me. And I really appreciate it. So obviously, I don't know how to put this, but they really helped me a lot in my life, and I want to say thank you every day. I want to say thank you for all you guys for taking the time here, because obviously you guys could have stayed home and slept. Obviously, I'm tired too, man. I want to say thank you. You guys really took the time, and I appreciate it a lot, so thank you for listening. Beautiful pictures.
Group hug! Group hug!
I don't even know what to say. That was an amazing talk. That was really great. Thank you so much, Ben. Another big round of applause. All right, thank you. Next we have, I believe, is Angie and All right, Angie and Madison will be going next for us. All right, so you guys want to come on up? Let's give them a round of applause.
I'm good right now, I just cried. Five. There's another one. All right.
Testing.
I'm crying. I don't like that. I don't like crying.
Okay, we present you the art of fear by me, Angie Doe, and
Madison Doe. We're not sisters.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, so meaning of fear, and we're going to use it, measure fear with, measurements. So what is fear? Fear is when a rise to harm occurs to your emotions. So when you're feeling fear, you're feeling scared and not calm, and it's a negative excitement. And how is it measured? Well, scientifically, you could put a person in a box and measure their heartbeat and how scared they are, or like their heartbeat and how much sweat they're producing. But that's scientifically. Okay, now we're going to go to a guessing game of phobia. It's a game of phobia. It's called Fence TikTok. It's not. It's okay. Don't worry. Just leave it. Okay, so the reason we're doing a phobia game.
So if you guess it correctly, you get some candy.
Okay, I'm gonna pronounce this. Wait, it's already bad. Okay.
So you just guess it off with the image. So trypophobia.
What is this a fear of, guys? Take a guess.
You have to raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Okay. Wrong way.
Next one is trypophobia.
Fear of frozen movies.
Fear of what?
Fear of what?
Frozen movies, sorry. Fear of snow? Yeah!
Okay, next one is glossophobia.
Yes. Oh.
I may throw it really badly. So raise your hand. You can't say it out loud.
Raise your hand.
Anyone else?
Becky. Fear of Becky.
We have Fear of sugar. Fear of milk.
No, you said it.
Oh, who said it?
No, they're shouting.
Yeah, they're shy. They hear it.
Wait, trust me. Mangoes, yes.
Fear of small children.
Similar siblings.
You can't raise your hand. You already got your hand. It's too bad.
Jeff?
Fear of family.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is phobia. That's over.
Is it like fear of being scared of anything or just fear of fear itself?
Fear of fear.
Basically,
Yes.
next one is phobia. Okay, pretend this image, but you have to put an X on it, okay? I kind of forgot to ask that.
Fear of iPad.
Dylan said fear of not having a phone and it's correct. The invisible
Tại giờ chỉ cho tao không thấy
The next one is xanthophobia.
Fear of helium.
Color yellow. Yeah, fear of the color yellow. Okay, acrophobia. What do you say? Fear of heights. Okay, so next one next talk will be about the effects of fear, because since we know the cause of fear, it literally depends on the person. So whatever your fear is, it's on you. The effects of fear are usually you feel scared and you don't know what to do. Some people two things are activated: fight or flight, and you just either go punching or you run the opposite direction. That's what I do. I think that's it.
Okay, now that we know the effects, we're going to show you 3 ways to deal with fear. The first one is talking it out. Like, maybe you just need to talk it out with a friend or family, and then hopefully you can get through that problem. The second one is finding a distraction, maybe like
in-depth on each way to deal with it.
So the first one, of course, is talking out. For me, talking out is probably one of my personal favorite ones. Like finding someone that supports you. So I want everyone to close their eyes, and I want everyone to think of someone you trust. Now you can open your eyes. Have you thought of someone you trust? Okay. Well, one of those people I trust is Kayleen. And one time, me and my family, we moved into this new house. And this new house has a lot of bugs. And me and Kayleen are really scared of bugs. And so there was this one time we were home alone together.
Oh. Okay, there was this time where me and Kayleen were home alone together, and there was a bug blocking the doors, so both of us were scared to leave. And so, me and my sister kind of thought we was gonna have to capture the bug, because we don't kill bugs in this household. And so, at one point, Kayleen said if I caught the bug, I could get Sheila Bakery. And Sheila Bakery, if you guys don't know, Sheila Bakery is really good. So I caught the bug, and then I realized catching bugs isn't that bad, unless it's like spiders, especially like these spiders. So after that, my fear of bugs was like nothing anymore. It wasn't a fear, and so like after you talked out, you could find the solution of your fear, and you could get over it. Yeah.
Okay, second way, finding a distraction. I love doing this because I hate dealing with problems. I see something, I like running away. So, to find a distraction, I like to crochet and just look at something else, read a book, go take time off. So, for example, if I'm scared of the test I'm going to take, I should be studying. I don't want to do that, who studies in this day and age? So I go on YouTube, and I scroll down for a while, and then I start thinking, I don't think about my test. I just start relaxing, because the thing with the test is I usually stress out a lot, so I need to calm down before I can start studying again. So before I start studying, I look at myself, and I look at my phone, and I just click on one video. I say just one, and I make sure it's just one. Some people just keep on going. I say just one. And after I'm done with it, I've calmed down because it was a funny video. And then I continue studying, and that's how I find a way to deal with a test or something big and serious and come up next or a project. And there's other ways that people do it. I don't know what else. Put up the slide. Ah yes, exercising too. CK10. Oh my god, that's so much more. It's very nice. It's actually very relaxing too. I feel good about myself after I've done a good workout or something. And I feel sweaty, and I take a nice shower, and I lay there, and it's the best feeling when you feel muscles.
Yeah.
Second is find a hobby. So I also don't like spiders or any bugs of any sorts. So I crochet them. So this seems very scary, but I crochet as either a spider or a bug, and I punch it. Because I can punch that, but I can't punch the actual thing. So I punch it, and then I make it look really, really cute. So I'm not scared of it. Second one is just listening to music. If you can't find the time to do something to relax yourself, then just listen to music and distract yourself. Go away from the problem and the fear, and then come back later because it might have been diminishing, and it could have been something big that wasn't actually big. It was just just your brother taking your stuff. Okay. So another acronym for fear is forget everything and run, which is what I like to do. Okay. Yes.
Okay, and the last one out of the three is to meditate. Okay. Wait. Okay. It says need I say more, but I'm gonna say a bit because we all know meditation helps like calming us down, and afterwards like maybe you have a test like Madison said, and you're like really worried about that. You could meditate even if it's like really short. It'll definitely like help you calm down. Unless you're doing like something like really wrong while you're meditating, then you should be good. Okay, thank you.
Let's do another TED Talk.
Also, Pink Link was the one that animated basically all of this, so you have to think about that.
Yeah. Another TED Talk.
Alright, thank you so much, Angie and Madison. That was awesome. I definitely learned. I did not know there was a fear of mangoes. There's a specific fear of mangoes. That's crazy. That's cool. That's crazy. Thanks for your Alright, hang tight guys. One more presentation. Alright guys, for our last presentation we have Tim Van.
Hi. What's up, man?
Okay, so I'm Tim Fan, as you probably know. So my TED Talk is on SpongeBob and Squidward. I hope you guys know them, but if you don't, they're from a show called SpongeBob SquarePants, which I like very much. So yeah, let's get into it. It's working. It's not working. Okay. So basically in the show, these two characters are direct opposites. They work the same job at the Krusty Krab. It's like a fast food burger restaurant. It's a pretty lame job. They just put burgers all day. And they're basically direct opposites. SpongeBob, he's basically a child doing an adult's job. He's like a teenager on the first day at work. I'm sure some of you know about. I don't. So yeah, he's very optimistic though. He's very childlike. He hasn't experienced much in his life yet. He doesn't really know about partnerships and things like that. He's also very immature. He's really impulsive. Doesn't think things through really. Doesn't think about what's going to happen in the future and things like that. And that's Squidward. He's like the opposite. He looks pretty cool. He's an octopus. And Squidward is really mature compared to SpongeBob at least. He's gone through a lot more. And we'll go through his story later on, but it's important to know that he's really pessimistic. He really looks at the negatives in life, and he doesn't have a lot of happiness in his life. So we should talk about why they're so different. I think the answer to this really comes into their experiences and their mindsets. SpongeBob, he's basically a child, and he doesn't really think things through. Really, his happiness in life just comes from living and just doing whatever he does every single day. Squidward, however, his joy in life was the clarinet. And, wait, okay, wrong button. Okay, and his meaning in life was the clarinet. That's all he did. And I think meaning is a big, important thing in your life. So basically, you learn about the meaning of things every day in school. It's taught to you throughout your life. And the meaning in life to everyone is different. There's no solid answer. Something everyone has to find at some point in their life. And for Squidward, this was the clarinet. It was what he put his entire life to. He took classes, took lessons. He practiced every single day for hours, but it never happened for him. Now he's just stuck working at the Krabby Patty. Krusty Krab, yeah, he doesn't really enjoy his life. He doesn't find meaning in it. And a lot of people can relate to this. We've all had big dreams, being astronauts, singers, musicians, actors, artists, but we just never had the opportunity to do it. A lot of us are in this situation now. We're just stuck in a situation we never wanted to be in the first place. So now, what can we do to be happier? So this leads us to absurdism, and it's a philosophy made by this guy. His name is Albert Camus, and he's French. That's why you pronounce it like that, because the French are lame, and yeah, not that cool. Yeah, this guy. So absurdism, the French are pretty lame, but yeah. Absurdism, it's a philosophy about how life is really unpredictable and what you can do about that. And the first thing we should look at is about how life is out of our control, especially our situation. And take Squidward for example. He tried everything he could do to become a clarinet player. That was his dream, but he never got there. Now, his situation in life is just labeled Krusty Krab worker. And over time, he can't really do anything to change his situation now. He basically already did everything he could. And this is a pretty tough pill to swallow. It's really hard to accept that no matter what you do to try and control things, try and control the path your life takes, usually it just won't end up how you think it will. So then, that brings us to our actions. And our actions are something that are in our control, and is something that we can change in our life. And when you focus on your actions instead of trying to change your situation, you start to see a lot more success. And more so, focusing on your actions isn't about sort of changing your situation, because a lot of people see their actions as a means to change a situation. And the thing is, you want to look at your actions as a way to just become a better person and be better at what you do, not trying to change where you are in life. So basically, if you try to be the best possible version of yourself that you can where you are now, you'll find a lot more success and a lot more meaning in your life than you would if you just try and change where you are all the time and looking at life through that mindset. And this really worked for me. When I figured this out, a lot of things just sort of clicked. I stopped stressing about a lot of things in my life. Other people can do things that I just can't predict and that I can't control. So I just try to do what I can to my best. And sort of another point about this is this doesn't mean that you should give up on doing everything you can. It's more so that when you do everything you can, you don't look for a result that will change your situation. You look for the result that will change who you are as a person. And then you become like Giga Chad, like this guy. So, in total, the whole message that I'm trying to send here is just to focus on what is in your control, your actions, and stop stressing about where you are in life and things that you can't control. And a good metaphor that I like to use, sort of, is to look at your life as a really small pizza slice in this whole gigantic universe. And when you sort of focus on things in your little pizza slice of life, sort of, it gets a lot easier to live. To my parents, they're very nice. My entire here helped me, and everything that made this possible. Thank you.
Alright, awesome job, Tim. That was a great presentation. And it's kind of crazy, like, I don't think we even coordinated, like, but Tim's presentation works perfectly with Ben's presentation. It's insane. Yeah. Like Tim says, you never know where life's going to take you, and there's certain factors that are out of your control. And just like Ben said, obviously there's problems that you can't do anything about, and you just have to learn to live with and to get around. And yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that everything worked out, and I hope everyone enjoyed the presentations. And